This is Geoff Hohwald. Today we're going to show you something called a multi-track recorder, and we're going to be showing you this so that you will be able to play your instrument when you're practicing along with tracks and then also record yourself. So essentially what happens is once you've recorded yourself with a track, you would be on one of the tracks. In this case, there are 8 different tracks. So let's say that the band you're playing with is on track 1. You can then play on track 2. And you can record as you're listening. You can record, in this case, the banjo, and listen to the band. Once you're done, then you can listen to the banjo by itself. You can listen to the band by itself. You can adjust the volume of either one. And what it does is gives you perfect feedback. And if I ask people that play an instrument and have been playing for several years but don't play in a band, have you ever heard yourself? And the answer is always, you know what, I've never heard myself. Now, I might have used an iPhone or something, but this is a much more perfect way to do it. So let's go ahead and look at the unit, and we're going to show you how it works and how to operate it. So here's the unit, and what I'm going to show you is that it has 8 different channels. And I'll get out my pointer here and show you. So if you can imagine, there's 8 different channels, and you'll see they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And once again, you might want to look at this on a computer because the picture will be quite a bit bigger. All right. Now, as we look at the unit, you'll notice that it has sliders, which are basically volume controls, okay? So if this control is down, that means that no sound is coming through the recorder. There's also what's called a master volume control, okay? And once again, the purpose of this video is strictly to show you how to use it in order to enable you to listen to yourself. Even though you could make a CD, a band could play on this, we're not going to discuss those features. We'll discuss only the things that are relevant to what we're doing. So, as you're playing back, what this master control is if, let's say you're playing 2 different channels and you want the total volume to be either increase or decrease, you use this, okay? So, let's set the recorder up for your use, okay? Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we use an SD card, and I'm going to show you how that looks right here. Okay, that's an SD card. And that card goes into the recorder, and I'm going to actually lift it up, and I'm going to turn it slightly, hopefully not mess up our studio thing, okay? And I turn it around, and I'm going to press that. There's already a disc in it, okay? All right. And that's what the disc looks like. Okay, so we'll line it up again. So here it is, okay? Now, in order to install or remove the disc, you're really supposed to turn the unit off. So there's a something that says standby right here, okay? And behind this is a little button, and I'm going to press that down, hold it down, and it will turn the recorder off, okay? We then take this disc, okay? We turn to the side of the recorder, and you're going to notice there's a little dog ear right here. So you put the disc in like so and push it in, okay? Now, if you put it in wrong, it won't go in, okay? So don't force it, all right? Once it's in, then we press the button right here, and you'll notice that the display comes on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is show you how to listen to the recorder, what's in it, what's been recorded. And first thing we do is we make sure that the master volume's up, okay? Okay. Now, in this case, we're going to start on track 1, which is the metronome, and we will press play because we have to get it to play, and these numbers will start moving. So here's the metronome. Okay. Now, in this particular SD card, we have the guitar on this track, a mandolin chop, bass, and then vocal. Okay. Now, if you're playing the banjo and you want to hear just Dave singing, see, there's his vocal. Or if you just want to hear a bass, or if you want to hear a bass and a chop, okay, or if you want to hear the metronome. So as we were saying earlier, what this does, this provides perfect feedback for you to know exactly what's going on. And later on this video, we'll actually play the banjo into another track, and you can listen back to the banjo playing. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to record your instrument onto a particular track, all right? Now, in order to do this, we need to have this knob up at 12 o'clock, okay? This controls the amount of volume that goes into the recorder. We also are going to be playing into these microphones right here, okay? There's a microphone right there, and there's also a microphone right here, okay? So you would go to this knob which says trim input A, 12 o'clock. You'll also go input B, which is right here, and that you set that for 12 o'clock, okay? And you'll notice there's 2 switches here. Make sure that the switch lines up with, it says internal, okay? In other words, just press that down and press that down, okay? Now, if you're listening through headphones, and you'll see a phone output on the back, so you plug your phones in, then this knob here controls the level that you're going to hear, okay? Now, just to go over it, if we're recording on a particular track, you need to have the master volume up, okay? You also need to turn the volume up of whatever track you're going to be recording into, all right? And then this has to be at 12 o'clock, this is at 12 o'clock, and this has to be on so you can hear the headphones. All right. Now, whatever channel you want to record into, which in this case is 6, you would press that button there, okay? And once you've pressed the button, that light will blink, okay? Now, in order to record, you do 2 things. You see this record button, you hold that down, and you press play, okay? Now you'll notice when you hold this down, that light comes on, press play. You'll also notice that that number is moving. And you will notice that this light has quit blinking. So if this light here is blinking, it means you're not recording. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off for a second and go through that again. Okay. So the setup is we're going to record in track number 6, okay? So we have the master volume up, we have the headphone volume set, and you can adjust that however you want. We have the trims at 5 o'clock, and we have these buttons down, okay? Okay, so to record, we press the button, in this case above 6, there it is. Then we press the record button and hold it, and then we press the play button and hold it. And this light here will quit blinking. Okay, so we are actually now recording, and to stop it, we hit stop, or press the stop button. And then normally I turn this off. And then to rewind it, you see the rewind button right there? You just press that a couple times. And then this will come back to 0. Okay, so this will be the end of this scene. I'm now going to show you how to actually record into the recorder. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is we are going to, we're actually going to play the banjo into one of the tracks of this recorder. And once again, in the prior segment, we showed you how to adjust these knobs. And let me just show you what's going on. And we'll do a close-up because this, you'll look at this display, okay? And you're going to see okay, now just to show you the display, I'm going to put that on 7 and I'm going to play, okay? Now as I turn this knob, in other words, input A, you would use, which is this microphone right here, okay? And that will, you can record the odd channels, 1, 3, 5, and 7, okay? Now because this microphone is closest to my banjo, I'm going to use 7. Tracks 1 through 5 have Dave Peterson on them. So I'm going to have 6, 7, and 8 open. So I'm going to start at 7 and set the... Okay, now hear how that's distorting? So a couple things are happening. First of all, if you're playing too loud, you're going to see a red. So you don't want that red light coming on right here. That's one thing, okay? The second thing you'll notice is if you're playing too loud and there's a little line. Notice you're going to see this bar at 7, and when it comes up to the top, you'll see that there's a little single line right on the top that just stays there, and that means you're recording too loud. But you also want to record loud enough that these bars go up about halfway. Okay, now, you'll notice that I happen to have a capo on the banjo at the 2nd fret because we're tuned to A, because this track happens to be in A, all right? So, we're getting ready to record. So here we go. I'm going to check and make sure that of what track we're on. And I go information and hit that. And we are on, that's what we want. So in this case, we're going to play Little Maggie at 86. All right, so we got a home. Okay, now, if you remember, we've got this set up, we've got this down. We're in input A, so we're playing on the odd channel, so we're using 7 since it's an open channel. So the first thing we're doing is press this button, all right? Now I'm ready to record, but I need to be able to hear what Dave's doing, okay, on this track. Okay, so I set these up so I can hear. In fact, I'll let you hear what's going on there.
Little Maggie, 86G. 1, 2, 3.
Over yonder stands little Maggie with a dram glass in her hand. She's a drinking away her trouble.
Okay, so that's what you'll be hearing through the headphones. Now, I'm going to turn 7 on, and I can go ahead and play along with the track. So to record, once again, I'm going to press the record button and the play button. Then I'm also going to hit the rewind, start from 0. Okay, so I play, and the light.
Maggie, 86G.
Stops.
1, 2, 3.
Over yonder stands little Maggie with a dram glass in her hand.
so if I'm doing that and I want to listen back and see how the banjo is, the first thing I need to do is hit rewind to where this comes back to 0. Okay? And then turn this off, and I hit play, and the lights, and here we go.
Stop blinking.
Okay, so I turned up the metronome just so I could hear if I was playing in time. And also, I'll go ahead and put the track back on. And you'll see what's happening here. So,
And the lights. Stop blinking.
And laughs in her hand. She's drinking away her trouble. Wild card.
so you can hear the banjo by itself, banjo with bass, banjo with vocals,
Ever standing just to see
banjo with metronome.
those two.
And you can turn up, you can adjust the volume however you want. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time, and in this case, I'm going to go to track 8. Okay, we press that down, go to 8, press rewind. That gets that back to 0. Okay, and in this case, we're going to be input B. So we adjust it however. There we go. There's input B. Okay, I'm going to play a totally different backup to Little Maggie. So here we go. So I record, play.
Little Maggie, 86G.
A little fancy.
1, 2, 3.
Over yonder stands little Maggie with a grand glass in her hand. She's drinking away her trouble. Wild card, how can I ever stand it just to see those blue eyes
Now back up.
shining
7-note roll.
two diamonds in the sky.
Seven-note roll.
Stars were made for the blind. Pretty stars were made to shine. Pretty women were made for the loving. Little Maggie was made to be mine. The last time I saw little Maggie, she was sitting on the banks of the stream with a 48.
Okay, so now, once we've got it in the recorder, we can now play it back. Once again, we hit rewind, and you have zeros there. And I'll play it.
Little
Okay,
Maggie,
this is track
86G.
A little fancy.
1, 2, 3.
Over yonder stands little Maggie with a grand glass in her hand. She's drinking away her trouble. Wild card, oh, how can I?
Okay, that's the case where we have the metronome and the banjo by itself. Now back 7-note roll. All right, so I'm going to do one more thing, and then we'll be done with this. And hopefully by rewinding this video and looking at it, I believe you'll understand totally how to use this machine. When you're wanting to play back, make sure that at least one of the channels is on. Make sure the master volume is on. Make sure if you're listening through headphones that this is turned up. Make sure that you've rewound the video so it zeros. And that's basically it. Now here's your lesson. If you play the 5th string, the 3rd string, and the 1st string, okay? Now we do a 7-note roll, which is the first 7 notes, which is 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 5, 3. So in my next track, all I'm going to do is a 7-note roll using those strings, the 5th, 3rd, and the 1st, and I'm going to do a forward and backward roll, which is 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3. Now you'll notice I'm not changing any chords. So as long as you play the 5th, the 3rd, and the 1st string, it'll work just great. And here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and play that with Little Maggie at 86. And remember, I did track 8, track 7, and now we're going to record on track number 6. There we go. So I press that down. Okay, so we're going to start Little Maggie, and I'm going to go ahead and play it and make sure that's at 0, which it is. Here we go. So, lights out. Let's get some. 2, 3.
Over yonder stands the old man with a grand glass in her hand. She's drinking away her while Gordon does
Forward and backward.
how can I ever stand just to see those blue eyes
7 notes.
shining like two diamonds in the
Now with chords. G, F, G, G. Forward and backward. G.
pretty flowers were made for the moon. Pretty stars were made to shine. Pretty women were made for the love. Little Maggie was made to mine.
All right, well that hopefully will show you what this recorder is good for. And 2 things. One, the Dave Peterson SD card is something that we had him do, and you can purchase those. They're $60 and includes 4 songs at 4 speeds and then 2 other songs at lesser speeds. And once you get the card, you can put it in there, and I think we've shown how to use it. There's some other features to this which we won't cover, but there's a way to go to YouTube, get your favorite band, let's say, and put their track or their vocals or whatever, audio, into track 1, and then you can then play on one of the other tracks with your banjo in this case and go back and listen to it. Let's listen to what we just did for just a second here. So in this case, I want to see if I'm in time, so I hit play.
Little
Lights
Maggie,
out.
86G.
Let's get some. So there's a metronome on track 1. forward and backward.
How can I ever just to see those?
All right, so that's it. If you have any questions, you can contact me at Geoff, that's spelled Geoff, at C as in cat, V as in Victor, L as in Larry, S as in Sam.com, and I'll be happy to help you. I do sell these recorders if you want, and of course we do sell the SD cards. If you get an SD card, we want you to agree not to copy it, because this costs a fortune to do, but it's going to help you a lot, and I hope you appreciate it. So if you have any questions, just contact me, and I'll be glad to help you in any way I can.